Joshua's going to connect with a bomb.
Yeah.
And breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah. And
his jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
Cook, he should retire, man. That was a clear.
Damn, retire?
Like, hell yeah, that was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's a reality check to stay in your own division, or
he was literally running. Look at some of those rounds. He was running. He was going north to south, not side to side. He was running.
Joe Rogan just gave Jake Paul a warning that could end his boxing career forever. This fight didn't just break his jaw, it may have damaged his brain for life. Doctors, psychologists, and fighters are all saying the same thing. What really happened in this fight will shock you. Watch till the end. Joe Rogan clearly warns Jake Paul to step away from boxing after his brutal knockout loss to Anthony Joshua. He says this path is extremely dangerous and not worth continuing. Rogan explains that damage from fights like this does not stop when the bell rings. It stays with a fighter for life, affecting memory, emotions, and mental health. Repeated head trauma can lead to depression and serious brain problems. Rogan believes no amount of money, fame, or views is worth risking permanent damage to the body and mind.
Brain imbalance that's going to lead you to addiction. It leads so many people to impulsive behavior. So many people become gambling addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics after their fighting career.
Yeah.
It's you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh. You know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, there was a lot of concussions in that one punch.
Sure.
That was real damage. Like if someone's breaking your jaw in 2 places, the inside of your fucking head there's a lot.
Psychologist Derek Van Schaik explains how dangerous Jake Paul's fight with Anthony Joshua really was. Joshua landed heavy, accurate punches, including a clean right hand that broke Jake's lower jaw in 2 places. That single shot could have caused long-term damage. In the final moments, Jake's body language showed fear, shock, and complete exhaustion. He looked overwhelmed by power he had never faced before. Van Schaik says this kind of punishment does not only hurt the body, but can permanently affect the brain and mental health. Experts agree that continuing against elite heavyweights puts Jake's life at serious risk.
But the number of punches he threw, and also aim a little lower to land that clean right-hand punch on the side of Jake's face, which fractured his lower jaw, still hospitalizing Jake Paul, but not actually killing him.
If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Rolls-Royce, Fiat.
The variety of emotions we see in the final moments of the fight are fascinating. AJ finally corners Jake, hits him with a quick left-hand jab to the body, which lowers his guard, opening up a clean right-hand shot to the head. You can see AJ smile there when he sees Jake had fallen into his trap and knows that he's about to finish him off.
And then you just keep exploiting that. Some people give up, some people get knocked out.
Jake's body language and facial expressions when he knows it's all over for him is a little sad as he whimpers in the corner with that scared, nauseous look on his face, realizing this may be his final moment on earth.
If I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. I don't believe he's gonna hit me with those shots.
You gonna hit him with that?
100%, and land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
If you look at Jake's eyes and face, he's pleading for mercy to AJ as if he's a child. Please don't do this.
Some people get knocked out.
It's actually quite surreal that the moment many of us were concerned what happened to Jake actually happened in real life.
If Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua, unloading on him, could be the end for him, literally. It could be his last day on earth.
Jake Paul was helplessly exhausted, badly beaten, and cornered where AJ could have unloaded a flurry of clean punches on Jake. When he takes that clean right shot from AJ, breaking his jaw in 2 places and then falls to the ground.
And his chin served on the platter, and look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Some wondered why Jake had that emotion of excitement. Do you know why? When he was cornered by AJ, Jake's amygdala.
The boxing world reacted strongly after the fight, with many saying Jake Paul was finally exposed. Fans and analysts agree that this match was a reality check. Against a true elite boxer like Anthony Joshua, Jake looked outmatched from start to finish. The knockout and constant punishment showed how dangerous this level of competition really is. Many believe the smartest decision now is retirement before the damage becomes irreversible.
Cook, he should retire, man. That was a clear reality
retire?
check. Like, hell yeah, that was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's a reality check to stay in your own division or, you know, don't jump in class so far up. Not retirement. He ain't get slept. Like, you don't give him no respect for that?
Hell no. Gang.
What?
I'm saying look at his list. It's all high-level boxer. And you seen what just happened when he stepped up to a legit boxer? He got cooked. He got to retire, man. He either got to retire or start fucking with these misfits boxer dudes. He ain't gonna make it with that kind of...
Against a bigger and stronger opponent, Jake Paul kept dropping to his knees again and again, risking serious injury every time he fell. These repeated collapses raised concerns about ligament and joint damage, similar to what ruined Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s career. Beyond the broken jaw, getting back up under Joshua's massive 260-pound frame drained Jake's energy fast. Analysts say he hit the canvas many times, exposing poor defense and bad strategy. All the trash talk about knocking Joshua out only made the gap between hype and reality even clearer.
With a bigger, taller person, so keep taking the knee. First of all, your knee, you can get ligament damage. Remember when Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was losing every round to Sergio Martinez, and then Martinez fell to the ground kind of weird? He messed up his knee. He was never the same fighter. So you got a broken jaw, but you could have tore ligaments in your knee by having a 260-pound man, fall on top of you because you keep making it sloppy and falling around and spilling about. And even if you don't like rupture something or tear a ligament or whatever, it's not really much better than someone leaning on you. Do you know how much energy you exert by having to be like 220 pounds or whatever, 216, and keep picking yourself back up? Like I seen a thing, I didn't count myself, but it said there were 12 or 13, maybe 14 times that Jake Paul was on the canvas. Horrible strategy. And Netflix, I don't even see how they would like that. And for me, this generation they're chopped, bro. Jake Paul did all this, and y'all want me to give a bunch of credit. Jake Paul did all this talking about Joshua getting knocked out. You did whatever to sell the fight, but you didn't make good. That doesn't make you look good when you talk crazy and talk spicy, and then you have no intentions of fulfilling that. And then you got the Jake Paul fans and the Andrew Tate fans, because they lost kind of back to back, where they're trying their hardest to turn this into some inspirational story. Like, oh, as long as you try, it doesn't matter. No, Andrew Tate said, what do you call...
Joe Rogan also points out that Jake Paul had never experienced power like Anthony Joshua's before. For the first time, Jake's body absorbed real heavyweight force. The punch that shattered his jaw likely caused internal damage that may not show immediately. Rogan says this fight was more than a loss, it was a warning. Facing elite fighters brings consequences that last far beyond the ring, and ignoring those signs could cost Jake his future health.
He could make 190.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
He's so big.
I give Jake so much credit for stepping into that ring.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb, a right-hand bomb.
When he got hit with that too, I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that, I mean, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness immediately to go like he looked at the crowd like, oh shit, like wow.
He goes,
it wasn't like
cracked. I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for.
Analysts say Jake Paul barely survived the fight, spending much of the match on his knees or flat on the canvas. Despite this, Jake later claimed he dominated Joshua, a statement experts call unrealistic. Many believe the fight was more about money than competition. Jake has already fought professionally many times and suffered real losses against serious opponents. surviving against a world-class heavyweight does not mean winning. Experts warn fans not to confuse survival with success, and stress that the real issue is the long-term danger fighters face.
Who had a 12-1 record, well, he's 12-2 now, lost against the two boxers that was young and healthy, and who trained boxing and not from a different sport or over the hill or retired. Okay, you treat him like a boxer. Stop calling him a YouTuber. Stop calling him, because this is what they're doing now. We saw all the predictions. Y'all didn't see the predictions where everybody was shitting on Anthony Joshua and not putting respect on his name, acting like he's going to get knocked out. Tyson Fury said it. Oscar De La Hoya said it. Drake put $200,000 on Jake Paul. Nate Diaz said Anthony Joshua was going to get knocked out. David Hay picked Jake Paul. Let's not forget, right at the press conference, they went on the whole panel and asked who would win, Anthony Joshua or Jake Paul. And everybody was saying Jake Paul. Ridiculous. We're going to get into the disrespect of Anthony Joshua. So let's treat him like a real fucking boxer. Because he is. Well, I said once, this is what I told everybody. Once he actually fought Tommy Fury, who was the first boxer he fought. Once he fought a boxer, win or lose, I said, now I count him as a professional boxer. I'm not counting you as a professional boxer when you're fighting NBA players, other YouTubers, MMA fighters who are even just fucking wrestlers and BJJ practitioners like Ben Askren and Nate.
Brendan Schaub shuts down the idea that Jake Paul ever had a real chance to beat Anthony Joshua. He says the so-called puncher's chance argument is pure fantasy at this level. The size, strength, and skill gap was simply too large. Even if Jake hits hard, he does not compare to elite heavyweights. Schaub explains that the fight should have been promoted as a survival challenge, not a possible win. Any hype suggesting Jake could dominate was misleading and created false expectations for viewers.
The way this should be marketed is not, can Jake Paul beat Anthony Joshua? That's insane. That's not real. That's not real in any facet. There was never a chance. There's never a chance. And the Jake Paul fans, and I was getting this a ton from DMs and comments going, well, everyone has a puncher's chance. That's an uneducated opinion. A puncher's chance, yes. If they're in a bar and Anthony Joshua's there at the pub and Jake Paul were to sneak up behind him and hit him in the back of the head or, in the side or something, maybe, even then, he's a little light in the ass, but maybe that's a puncher's chance. In a professional bout where a professional fighter at the level of Anthony Joshua is at, and he is going into a ring knowing and expecting to get hit, there is no puncher's chance when there's that much discrepancy in talent level. There's not, especially when the size difference. And some of you will say, Jake Paul hits hard. To you, yes, to you. But also, Jake Paul hits hard for a 200-pound man. He wouldn't even measure in the top 1,000 professional heavyweight boxers in the world as far as the strength knockout meter, if there is such a thing. It's not possible. So a lot of you were tuning in for saying, well, he has a puncher's chance. That's not real. That doesn't exist here. And now they could do this, but I don't think it's going to get the same amount of views, but it would set expectations. If when this fight was announced, Jake Paul's team said, hey, we're fighting Anthony Joshua. Who thinks we can last 8 rounds? Who thinks we can go all 8 rounds? Who thinks Jake Paul can go 8 rounds?
Jake Paul's broken jaw. Jake has to get wired shut for 7 days or something like that.
Yeah, like titanium
Tim had to do
plates.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
7 weeks. Tim broke his jaw in Montana. Tried to go to the hospital.
Yeah, Tim says that was the worst thing he's ever gone through.
So now he has to. So he's fucking goes like a week without even getting surgery. At least Jake was able to probably get it like next day, that same day. But it's like all the people hating on Jake. It's crazy. Connor said Jake is stupid and will be altered permanently from this bout. I look at it. It's inspiring seeing what he does because I know how much people said the surgeon's out of town.